Another day, another mixed bag of alts. Look at this banter bubbles. We got red all over the place. We've got a sprinkling of green. We had some good XRP news. I'm going to take you through an XRP chart just now and my thoughts about that. We've got some interesting things brewing here. I've got some short setups I'm looking at now on the back of potential moves higher that are coming. DYDX, Render, Sui we're looking at, Link, I've got Fantom, I've got Solana, I've got Gold, and I've got a BTC overview that we're going to do for you guys. So let us know in the chats what's happening out there. Let us know who's trading what, and let's get straight into this BTC situation. This is the BTC 4 hour, guys. We tried to leave that range yesterday and I was waving it goodbye, or not yesterday, a few days back. And we were looking forward to new things, but they brought us right back into this 4 hour range that we've been playing on. I still have concerns up and down. I am worried about the 618 over here. If we get down there, these alts might feel some more pain. So this is a key area we're watching. And if you look at this trend, it does make perfect sense that it might just want to drift down lower into this region. If BTC decides to turn up now, what am I looking at? Well, I'm still watching this 200-day MA up here. I've also got a 200-week MA up here. And we've got this high over there. So this 28 region is key. So if we push up, I'm looking at a rejection at that area over there. If we pull down, I'm looking at a rejection, at a bounce at the 618 region. I was chatting to Bruce and David just now off air, and they're talking about levels down here, 26,300. 26,000. So guys, I mean, that's going to be pretty dark. So when I bring them on just now, we're going to go through that. Let's look at the current situation. I've opened up another BTC 15-minute for you guys that we're going to track through the session. You can see what happened yesterday. We started bleeding a little bit on BTC. We started losing those levels. And when we lost those levels, interestingly enough, dominance started going up, which means the alts aren't loving it and the alts start dropping. When we were talking about it yesterday, we were saying when BTC dumps and that dominance actually starts falling, these alts are holding their areas. And yesterday they were having none of it, and the alts started dropping, and it happened while we were sleeping and we lost a lot of levels. I want to show you guys an interesting BTC and dominance chart. I've lined them up together for you. This is the BTC 15-minute at the top. This is the BTC dominance lower down, and I just wanted to show you something interesting here. If we look at this region on the Monday, the 2nd of October, I'm highlighting it here. It ties in over here. We saw the price of BTC dropping, and we saw the price of dominance dropping, and then the alts were holding. The same thing happened again here. We had BTC dump. I think it was about 2%, and the dominance dropped, and some of these alts only dropped like 0.5%, 1%, and they held their areas really nicely, and then they bounced beautifully. What happened yesterday? Well, yesterday on that second visit, BTC started dumping, and look what happened to dominance. Dominance started pushing up, and these alts were having none of it, and they just fell over into deep areas. So there were a couple of stops hit. We'll hear updates from Bruce and Dave on their trades. I got stopped on a Sui trade that we had on that Lux Algo. And now we're looking at things, and we are watching BTC again on this area, and we are potentially looking at a bounce followed by some short opportunities. So let's go through some of these altcoins that I'm watching currently, take you through what I think is happening here. So BTC DYDX, guys, this is the DYDX 1 hour. Quite critically here, we've lost this major trend. So yesterday we were sitting on the 50-day MA, we were sitting on trend, we had this nice horizontal. What happened? We dumped down, had a nice bounce on this 618, came up to this region for the retest, and now it's sent back down again. So if we do get any upside, guys, this is now resistance to watch. This 2 level is a big resistance zone for us, and that's you can see how it's tying in here. So 2 is resistance for the bears. If we get that push up, the bears want to look for some shorts here. Right now we are on support. We are on 618s, looking interesting for potential upside. On the 4 hour, you can see this stochastic has almost reset here on the 4 hour, but it might need a little bit more time. So I'm going to watch this one closely. David is also looking at this for us in the background there, and we're going to get a trigger. So if we do get a trade on DYDX, or we decide to jump in, you'll be the first to know. But it is on our watch list now for potential bounce to the upside. If we lose this level, guys, what are we looking at? Well, I've highlighted this 786 over here, which is the next most probable region. If we do get a fast move down, we're going to look at a 618, and then you know the drill. This is going to become resistance. the 618 here is going to become resistance off that bounce of the 786. So let's see how this plays out during the session. Quick BTC update. Still hanging around. Okay, still watching this 27,200. Guys, here's Optimism. This is the Optimism 8 hour, another alt that lost a nice major area. We've lost this trend now, and look, potential upside on its way. Would I long it here? No, I don't like the length of this candle. We need to possibly go a little bit lower for you guys to get a nice long. If we do get upside from here, we're going to look at a push up into this 382 region, and that's going to give the bears a nice area to short. And you can see why. It's the rising trend, it's the 382, and it's a nice horizontal cluster zone here at trend. Link is another good one we've been tracking for a while. This is the Link 8 hour. Lost a nice support zone, had a beautiful bounce, guys, off this 382, and now Link is pushing into resistance. Let me take this off. Link is now pushing this resistance zone, and this is bear country, but the downside is quite limited at the moment based on what I'm seeing, because your support is at 4.5% currently. So I'd want to see a much bigger move on Link to open a nice size short. Right now we're looking at a tight little range here, so let's see how Link plays out. If we do get this move down to trend and we lose it, we're going to look at that retest, and then our targets, guys, are going to be down here. It's this 50-day at 6.5. We got this horizontal at 6.4. So those are key areas we're going to watch. If Link decides to push up with BTC, so let's say we get a BTC bounce, you know what we're looking for. We want to see this area reclaimed. We want to see nice support here, and then we can start taking Link higher to these higher areas where this 8.2 looks interesting, as well as this region up here at 8.4. So right now, there's no real trade for me on Link, other than we got to just give it a little bit more time. Let's take a look at Injective. Injective looking very similar to Link. Nice little bounce after that rejection. Look at this bounce of the 50-day MA that came into play there on that downside earlier, and then a beautiful bounce, push back into resistance area 382, and now it's rejected. So the perfect entry here would have been at this 382 zone. I think there was an alarm here on the Banter Discord, guys. It may or may not have been pinged. Let us know in the chat if you've got the alarm. I can see it's over here, but it might have just been a little bit short. So right now, downside on Injective, we're looking for a move lower into this region, this little 618 basket again, potentially for another test. For the bulls, guys, you're going to have to wait for this downside to come now. Look at an opportunity down there, or if things start moving sooner than we expect, you know what we're looking for. We just want to see that push up again. We want to see old supports become old resistance become support for us, and then we can ride it up higher. So right now, you know, little mid-range area for Injective. I'm not too excited about it at the moment. Let's look at Render. So guys, Render's in this flag. Sheldon and I were talking about this earlier today on Sheldon's show. Still eyes on this flag. You know, we had this wick down. It's a little bit tricky if you want to be long in this region now, because you got to deal with this wick. So I would prefer to wait a little bit lower, unless you guys have been scalping all day. You know, the best entries now, we got to wait and let it come down, or we got to wait for these things to push up. I'm looking at the 618 potentially for a revisit, and that would make sense to me to tie in with that wick that we had last night. If things do pick up early, well, this is horizontal, and you've got a flag that you can play with. So eyes on Render here. I want to see how Render reacts here with BTC. So we'll keep watching this through the session. We want to see where our BTC bounce comes. AVAX has been a very nice one today. AVAX was running beautifully, and guys, I mean, no surprises here. Massive 618 bounce for AVAX. Look at the size of this thing. We had a perfect bounce here of 8% for AVAX off that 618 move. Very quick move. You can see how they bought this candle up so quickly over here. Rejection for AVAX, 50-day MA, horizontal zone. So we've been fighting this area the whole day. If BTC does start recovering, we're going to want to see AVAX claim this area, and then we're going to try and chase it up to this 10.15 region. So right now, let's just let things settle a little bit for AVAX. You can see a little double toppy. Let it play out a little bit. We'll watch what happens there. I've got an 𝗕𝗵𝘆 setup that I'm watching, and a GMX long setup I'm watching. And Simon is around as well. I wanted to get his comments on 𝗪𝗂𝗀𝗀 as well, and see how it's tying in with 𝗕𝗵𝘆. We've also got Simon bringing in a 𝗪𝗵𝗲 on 𝗪𝗂𝗀𝗀, and he might have one or two others. Let's in fact get the guys in here quickly. I see they're all waiting in the wings here. Dave, what's happening?
What's happening?
Simon, Bruce, one of you guys are going to be hidden behind the chats.
Hi, I'm hidden.
Somebody's hidden there behind the chat. Okay, so guys, what's happening? How's it going? Everyone okay?
Everything's pretty good.
Well, yesterday was interesting, and yeah, hope today's a little more predictable.
Another day in the markets, another day
Exactly.
trading. Look, just opportunities come every day. Sometimes we get it wrong, sometimes we get it right, but let's make sure when we get it right, we really make it count. So, Simon, I wanted to get your views quickly on this 𝗕𝗵𝘆 situation. I'm watching this 𝗕𝗵𝘆 4 hour.
Okay.
The things I like about it: horizontal, 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀, the trend. You can see it had a beautiful bounce on that dump earlier today. Dumped into trend, perfect reaction, pushed up. And now it's trying to find support in this area. So I'm looking at 𝗕𝗵𝘆 as a potential long once we decide that BTC has now reversed or hit its bottom. What are you seeing on your side over there?
Yeah, sure. Share screen. Can you see mine?
I'm going to pull you up now.
All right. No worries. Okay, cool. So 𝗕𝗵𝘆. Excuse me, I've got a slight cold today, guys. Sorry. Okay, so you might actually notice we've got some different features right now. We've got a new 𝗪𝗂𝗀𝗀 that's dropped. Still, I'll probably touch more on that another time, but we'll have a chat certainly about that. So obviously I pulled a fib on 𝗕𝗵𝘆 from this low point here up to where it maxed out. And we're literally sitting on the 618 that I drew now. We actually had a wick down. But yeah, on the 4 hour, I'm kind of seeing the same as you, mate. I think that if Bitcoin decides to pull its finger out and behave, let's get my pen up, there we go, that this may just do what it needs to. We've had a long signal here from the previous sort of, this is still a short signal, by the way. A 2 just means it's numbered out of basically 1 till 4. There's like a continuation to the downside. And the higher up it gets, basically the stronger the signal, but it's still a short. So this short here has been in play, and we've actually had our first take profit point. Now, the thing that slightly bothers me is in the space, let's just hide the fib as well, 1 second. In the price action, which is obviously this black space between, we're actually only really halfway down between here and here. So the 618 for me is more what I'm leaning to right now, and the 786 obviously down here. But at this point, the candles are not very clear. They're not red. They're not sort of saying we're definitely going down. They're not green. They're not bullish. They're kind of very purpley and indecisive. So at this point, I'm more reliant on this. This to me is telling me that we do a long. The RSI is under 20. So, you know, it looks like we've leveled out. We've had a green spot and we should be ready to go. But I'm not as confident on this as I am on some other coins. But if all goes well, we should...
Yeah, no, I can see why. So we're not in that cloud yet, and that cloud ties in more downside. So got you. So okay, so this is a tentative long then for me. I was watching this wick, maybe a revisit on this wick again, tied in with BTC, but we want to see more X's on that 𝗪𝗂𝗀𝗀.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, if we go down to the 1 hour very quickly, just to give the guys more of an idea of what we're looking at, we are actually facing down on the RSI. So what we may well face is just another touch onto the ribbon here, which I would actually really like to see. Somewhere in this zone here, and then with any luck, we should get our second TP point. Bear in mind, this is a smaller time frame. It's not relevant, but it will reflect through to this trade here. Yeah, so what I'd expect to see down here somewhere is our second TP. But if you go down to the 1 hour, we're kind of getting an impression that we are making our way down again. If you look at the RSI, yeah, it looks, we're not done, I don't think. I think if we go down even further, we're still heading down. You know, we will sort of reset soon, but there's still some downside.
So what we have seen then, guys, is we've seen a lot of these alts lose trends. Okay, I showed you now DYDX, I showed you OP, I showed you Atom. They've lost trends. Okay, so maybe they were front running. Maybe there's more downside to come here. So we might have a situation where 𝗕𝗵 loses trend, and then we're going to play it. We're going to play it the same way as those other guys. So maybe it's just lagging. We're going to keep our watch on this one. But right now, tentatively, it's an area I'm interested in. So I'm going to keep this on my watch for the next while. And if we get an opportunity, I'm going to jump in.
I'm not sure if I'm still shared, Dylan, but
you
this is what I cut. Okay, cool. I mean, it may not be as extreme as this. It might only come down to this level, but we may visit this 786 again. Something like that, I predict, will happen.
Okay, so just to recap then, from the chart I'm watching on my side, we saw Optimism and those guys, they lost this trend. So that's what we're looking for potentially. So if we do lose this and BTC dumps to that 618 that I was talking about earlier, that let's just recap that number. So 26,900 region for BTC. If we get that move lower, then I would expect that we're going to see things like 𝗕𝗵 at the 618 at 59. Okay, so that would be a nice tie-in for me over there. And we're going to do the same with some of these other alts. We'll go through them and see where their next fib is. So when BTC hits that fib, we want to see where the supports are on these altcoins for that potential bounce. Okay, cool, Simon, thanks for that one.
Sure.
Let me just show you my other potential long that I'm looking at, guys. It's GMX. So GMX has lost a 382, and I'm quite liking this area lower down. There's a 50-day MA coming through here. I've got a 618 coming through here and a trend. We've also got some horizontal stuff happening. So I want to ask Simon again. Can you look at GMX for us on your Lux algo things? I'm just keen to hear your thoughts.
Okay. Loading in now.
We want to just get this timing right. So if BTC drops onto a nice support zone, we want to make sure we're tying in these alts well so that we can jump in.
Oh, this looks good. This looks good, Dill. Are you sharing me? I'm not sure if I'm shared just now.
I'm going to share you now.
All right, cool. Let me just take off some of this other noise. Hang on. I usually use the trend catcher just to give everyone an idea of what the trend's doing. But to be honest with you, it's very clearly red, isn't it? We don't really need that. It's just going to block some of the vision. Okay, cool. So looking at this, obviously this is the first time I've actually looked at GMX today. So just give me a sec. On the 1 hour, bless you. On the 1 hour, we're sitting at 23 here, which is obviously reasonably low. We've had a short play out. Now, just to give you guys an idea of what this new AI system is, a 3 is quite a strong signal. It's out of 4. So this was quite a solid, we're going down. Now it retraced here and it's come down further. So it looks to me like this short 3 signal will probably continue to play out. When this levels, it'll be somewhere around here. I'm not sure what your levels are saying, Dylan, but I'd expect there's still 35. A little bit of down.
35 to 36.
So you're talking in this. Oh, wow, that's quite a big drop still, isn't it? Let's just have a quick look at this again. Hold on. So 4 hour. Just getting set up real quick. Okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, look, as it stands. Yeah, so look, Dylan, the 35 region lines up with this, the entrance to the cloud, yeah? So that's the first thing that I noticed. So there's no reason why a price action shouldn't bounce off here and come down before bouncing off. That would make sense to me. This is quite low. However, it hasn't flattened out just yet. Now, the other thing that's interesting me is the cash flow or the money flow indicator behind, which is the green sort of mountain. Generally, when cash is flowing in, if you look at the price action above, you can see it's going up and then we peak and then we come down. What generally happens is it goes red and it continues while it's going red to go down. So there's every opportunity that the cash flow will do this. And then somewhere around there, which is probably around this level, which is going to line up with the cloud, I would guess that's where you might get your long signal. So that's not completely out of reason at all.
So this is, yeah, then that's a couple of days, I think, what you're showing us here. So that could take us Thursday, Friday. Cool. Okay, so guys, keep this on your watch list. Be patient. Eyes on GMX. 35 to 36 could be a nice area, nice 618 bounce. Yeah, so these are 2 that I'm keen on, that I'm tracking. Cool. Simon, I know you have to run early. You had another one you wanted to show, 𝗪𝗵𝕋, I think it was.
Yeah, so I've got a couple. I mean, 𝗲𝗏 is really of interest to me. I was going to cover 𝗬𝗏𝗻𝗀, but Bruce reminded me that they've got a hard fork taking place. This normally would be really exciting. You know, you've come off the ribbon, you come onto this ribbon, there's order blocks in place, so you might argue that we go back to the order block. However, and this is also confluentially telling us that we're getting ready to go long. But Bruce has told us that there is a hard fork taking place. I mean, fine. So I need to look into it. It might just do that, you know? So if anybody knows and can enlighten us as to what might happen, that would be better for 𝗬𝗏. And I'd be very happy to show you this one. This is much more exciting to me, if you want. It's, do you know 𝗲𝗏? You've probably come across 𝗲𝗏 before. You know what it's like. All right, wonderful. So listen, at this point, we are, where are we? Let's see, we are 85%. Well, not quite, we're actually here. We're just under 80% into a pump, right? So all I was really trying to do was identify on one of the particular time frames where I might see a short coming. And actually at this point, it was going to be the 4 hour, but having looked at this a few times today, I'm not so sure. I would expect that we'll leave this cloud, which you can't even make out because of the amount of candles in front of it, and return back through the order blocks to this sort of blue EMA. But you know, I was hoping to come to the live today and give you a definitive answer that it's coming. But even this bearish divergence hasn't played out. This is such a strong pump. Don't long it, guys, obviously, because it's not really a good time to long. But if we come to the daily, this is probably the best chance I could offer you to go short. And I'll just change this one setting real quick to that. There we go. Now on this one, we have got a previous, obviously the long, you can't miss it, which has given us a take profit. We do have an order block here, which I guess Dylan and David and Bruce you'll probably talk more about, but this order block's pretty close. I mean, I'm guessing that we might enter the order block, and looking at this, I would have thought that the RSI is so high, we might be due a rejection quite soon. So potentially there's an opportunity to short somewhere in the order block. I don't know what you think about that.
Is there more news coming on this token? I mean,
all I know with 𝗲𝗏 is last week there was a tokenomics vote. I actually voted in it, the option of burning quite a lot of the supply.
What are you holding bags of VRA?
I've been holding VRA for about 14 months. It's one of my very, very early gens. And I obviously voted to burn the tokens. And if you look, I mean, you know, we are still a long way from the previous highs. I mean, I can't even show you on the screen. Look, where are we? We're like just up to there. That's 500%. So we're a very, very long way away. Needless to say, my bags, which I got back here, they are staked and they're earning, but they're very much down. So this is just really a small, you know, I mean, just look at how small it is compared to the rest of the price action, you know, perspective. But we do have this, which is really topped out. So I would hope that a short might be coming on the daily for 𝗲𝗏 at some point very soon. I shall probably update you guys on Discord for this one. All right.
Keep us posted, and yeah,
of course,
let us know. I want to get involved in that.
Sure, mate. Sure.
Okay, bro.
Yeah,
you need to go. You need to run.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Thank you so much for helping us.
Cheers, buddy.
Okay, Simon, later.
Thanks, Simon.
Good job, brother.
Okay, guys, 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀. If you are interested in 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀, there's a link in the description. You can grab it there. There should be some kind of deal. I think the first 30 days are free. It is a paid service, so there is a free one in TradingView, but you're not going to get the clouds and those type of things that we use. And remember, we use it for Confluence for our setup, so we don't use it solely on its own, just like we don't use one particular like trend line or MA on its own. We like to use a mix of things, and 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀 sometimes adds that Confluence for us. Right, Dave and Bruce, I'm going to hand over to you guys. I've got tons more tokens for everyone, but we'll get to it. Guys, let us know what you're trading. I know Dave had something interesting there with GALA.
Go for it, Dave. David, go for it. All yours.
I think he's muted. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
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 Wrong screen. There we go. Okay, you're good to go.
All right, guys. So yesterday we talked about Bitcoin hitting this point of control at 27,150. We tapped it. these are some scenarios I am aware of that could happen. I posted this last night in the Discord. We have a level at 26,575, which is a point of control, tying in with a moving average, and then we have a heavy daily support at 26,250. We may not even hit those. So again, just be aware of these scenarios. We are at the bottom of the Keltner channel right now and bottom of the 15-minute on the RSI. So let's see what US does here today. Just a recap from yesterday. I don't know if anybody took that lever short. It was a sneaky lever short, but closed it, 8x leverage, made a post about it. And, you know, there was a lot of nice, juicy long setups yesterday. You know, I took, you know, Adam, I took IMX with you guys, kind of annoyed with IMX because it just reclaimed the area. But, you know, holding shorts like this and holding the shorts of 𝗕𝗂𝘀, you know, when you have longs and shorts, it ends up covering those stop losses and making tons of profit for you guys. And at the end of the day, it's about making profits and building your portfolio. Profit, you know, take your profits, right? When you see a little bit of profit, take it. I know we talked about the GALA short yesterday. I actually took a sneaky GALA short. It wasn't at any kind of certain level, but I took profits at the 618, closed it fully, and here we are trying to fight back towards the moving average. But as far as what I'm seeing right now, is a TRB short. I did take TRB long. I did take a TRB long. Let me just give you guys what I'm seeing and why I'm thinking this way. So on the 15-minute, the 4-hour, the 8-hour, and the 12-hour bottomed out RSIs. Okay, so we have 4 time frames that are showing bottomed out RSIs. We also have this trend line that comes all the way back to September 17th. We have a touch, we have a touch, we have a touch. Now we have this 618 sniper region from the bottom of this breakout to the top. So a lot of confluence here, and I think we're seeing also an order block. Yeah, we have an order block right here. So last night, when I saw this dip, you know, I wasn't too sure, but you could see that it was bought back up quite quickly. So from the bottom to the top, within an hour, it was a 10% bounce. So here we are again at this sniper region and this trend line. I think this is a safe play, low leverage, maybe 3 to 5x leverage, because if you guys were to enter right now, the last wick is at, you know, 4%. So maybe right here would be a safe play. If we lose the trend, guess what? Get out, right? So if we lose the trend, get out, have your stops, tight stops. But even at 5x leverage, if we were to bounce here and at least start touching these order blocks, even right here at 5x leverage, that's 100% gain. So no reason to get greedy here. If you guys are being more risky, obviously more leverage, more profits. But at the end of the day, guys, we're here to make money. Last thing I want you guys doing is freaking out that you're at staring at a negative 40% P&L if we start to lose the trend. So be safe there. The other setup that I really like was Dylan's DYDX. We talked about that, or he talked about that. But one that looks really nice as well that I'm keeping an eye on is Arbitrum. As you can see, we did a round trip, as Dylan likes to call it, from the bottom of the breakout to the top. We are in the sniper region.
I mean, again, just what a reminder to TP. Just take profits. Like, it's so difficult though sometimes when it's pumping. I mean, I was so bullish last week and I hung onto that rune, and what did it do? It just came all the way back down as if nothing happened. It was so ridiculous.
Take
guys, really, take profits, or at least have a balance, you know. But just make sure you take profits somewhere.
100%. So there's a couple things that I like here, right? So we have a trend line, 1, 2, 3 touch, 4 touches now. This was last night, US time. But from the bottom to the top, we have this sniper region, 618. You can see how it went below it, but then reclaimed very quickly. And now we are sitting in this little region here. I think there was also 2 or 3 order blocks that were appearing yesterday when I explained this. And I said they were going to get eaten up. And then we're sitting here at this big one here, and it hasn't, and it's still holding. So if anything, we might even see a little bit lower, touch the trend line and go. So from where we are right now, 2.5% from that wick. So I would think 7-8x leverage is a safe play. Obviously, if we lose this trend, get out. That means Bitcoin's going into these lower levels here. So with that being said, if Bitcoin pumps from where we are right now, I am looking to re-enter a GALA short. I think it'll probably, and it was crazy to see how hard it was trying to stay up here with this market bearish sentiment and amazing bounce from yesterday. What was that? A 10% bounce. Incredible. And now it's already retraced 5%. We're sitting at the 382. I think it's a little bit of a risky long play, but if you're feeling bullish on GALA and you want to scalp it to maybe up into the moving average, but I'm looking to short it again from this area here. I think that would be a very nice risk to reward if Bitcoin rejects at these levels here. So what I'm looking for Bitcoin is if we don't reclaim 27.7, we are going lower. You can see here we rejected right now. But if we do reclaim 27.7, we hold it. I'm looking for higher there. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for now, guys. A couple setups and some Bitcoin scenarios.
BTC. We still stuck at these supports that we're going to watch. So guys, we'll keep you updated while Bruce is talking. We'll keep our eyes on BTC as well for you. Bruce, something spicy for us.
Good morning. Well, let's start with TOMO.
We haven't seen a TOMO trade in a while, Bruce.
Yeah, and for good reason. It's been all over the globe. But I told you guys over the last couple of days that I really was hoping we'd break into this region right there. Hold on, let me get
there you go.
Break in this region because you can see that the size of the candles here. This is grass growing kind of candles. We kept trying to trade it, and it was a pain in the backside. But look at once it broke into this region. Look at the size of the candles and the moves. We're back to honest to gosh pumps, honest to good dumps, up and down. This is stuff we can start to work with. Right now, it's coming back and settling back towards the base, the support area of this range. We've got the 618 right there. I've set an alarm for you right above it. We've got support right here, and we've got the upward trend line that's been respected right there. So I'm not exactly sure yet. This is kind of a heads up. I'm not exactly sure when this is going to be ready to take along, but I'm going to, once it triggers this alarm, I'm going to start watching for it getting ready to break through over there. If you don't get the first entrance, you might have to get the second one. But the reason I'm excited about this is that once it does hit base over here, you can see how it reacted very strongly. We're looking at, a good 13-14% pump that should make TOMO worthwhile trading again. So I'm excited about that. Not ready yet. I'll post this in Discord though.
So you're looking at 𝗪𝗪 by any chance?
I actually am.
Okay, pull it up. We've got an emergency exclamations here in the chat saying 𝗪𝗪 now.
Yeah, I'm nervous about 𝗪𝗪. It lost the 50-day moving average. It broke underneath what was used to be pretty darn clear support level. You go back in time, this is a pretty strong level. It broke through, came up and is retesting it. And this looks like a rejection right there. So I had this, that's a legacy. I would be more inclined for a short right now than a long. We bring it up on the 4-hour. I just don't see it having support at this point.
Look, the way I read that message, I thought it was blowing up. I thought something.
No. Well, I mean, here most of them wicked down, came back up, and came right back up to support. 𝗪𝗪 didn't. Right? You can see. Hold on, bear candles. Right? This did not recover very well right there. If you look at the other ones, we're looking at like 𝗕𝗫𝗫𝗫 and WorldCoin, TRB, etc. They came back. What if this had come down, come back up here and retested here? I would have been a lot more optimistic about it. But right now, if I were going to bet on this, I'd be betting on a short.
Okay, so short it is for 𝗪𝗏.
Yeah.
There's no longs right now. Okay, there's BLZ. When last did you look at BLZ?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Yeah, be a good one.
BLZ is another one. 𝗪𝗏 is again the crazy happened. It lost 50-day, and it's in the middle of nowhere, right? So there's no clear areas of support and resistance in this area. So what I'm looking for right now is for this thing maybe to drift down to here. I'll throw in a trend line to watch it, right? I'm not sure exactly what the trend's going to be, but down to there. And this is a pretty strong, you can see historically, pretty strong support area. So I'd be then looking for a long from there. Right now,
so
we got a couple days of that dripping.
Okay. I wonder, BLT was obviously driven by some outside forces, I would guess. So I wonder if they fired now. I wonder if they've sold out and they're going to move on. Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
I think when it gets to 0.114, I think we'll find out whether this is a has-been or that there's some life left.
Okay, Brett, we're going to take a look at 𝗕𝗫 for you. Don't stress.
Okay.
Rodolfo wants to short 𝗪𝗏.
Okay, I was going to take a look at 𝗪𝗏𝗽 and WorldCoin also, by the way.
Go, give us.
So 𝗪𝗏𝗽, this behaved better. This is. I tried to get into this yesterday, got stopped out by that wick. Whoopie-doo. But I'm really liking the way this one also is setting up. It's basically, came down test. Had that wick was yesterday's crazy, but it came back up. Now it's retesting this 618 50-day moving average. To me, this is ripe for a long, pretty much right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, no certainty, but it's a good move.
That wick's deep. How deep is that wick?
That wick is deep. Yeah, absolutely. And if it's the caveat is price will sometimes come and try and fill that. But if it doesn't, that wick the wick is almost 4%, 3.5%. So if it comes back down and fills that, you'll get stopped out. But if Bitcoin or the market is we'll follow it. You can have a decent upside for that.
MA, there's some flip action there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
I mean, just following straight to TA. This is 618, strong support, 50-day moving average. Broke if you do the trend line on there. I did it visually, but you can see that there was a trend that was here, right? Broke the trend. It came back and retested it.
Okay, like it.
Yeah. So, by the way, I took your TRB trade while you were talking, David. So,
let's go.
Last one I got that's preset is WorldCoin. Also, it's the same thing, right? Interestingly, we were originally looking to trade up there. Wild coin.
Wild. I thought it was Wild World.
No, it's just Wild.
Woo!
This is Wild.
Yesterday we were looking at this thing at the 382 to bounce. Clearly the world collapsed underneath it, but lo and behold, hashtag science. You came down to a high conviction zone, 618. This just again looks good for a potential long from here to me. I'd maybe wait for the next candle to maybe break a little bit to prove itself, but I'm liking the way this one's setting up also.
So just actually help me in the chat. Somebody, Gareth says it's called Wilder World. I literally don't even know what this thing is called.
I thought that was what we called it yesterday. Is like we're calling it Wild World. Best of both worlds.
It is world, but we've taken over the meme of it, and the world is responding. The fact that we're calling it Wild World.
That's hilarious.
Okay, well, we'll just.
You're a major crypto name influencer now.
Okay, guys. I've got SEI, say, or whatever. What do we call this thing?
Say.
Does it have a name? Say.
I don't know.
I think SEI is better. Yeah.
Let's call it SEI.
Yeah. It looks like a double bottom from what I'm seeing now. It's been beaten up so bad.
Yeah, this thing has been smashed.
Yeah, that's its real name, by the way, is SEI. SEI.
Say. Okay, well, I think it was Brett asking for this one. There is, see, Rodolfo says it's 𝗲𝘂𝗀𝗀, so now no one knows. CryptoTone says it's 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀. Nicholas says, say my name. Okay, this is going well.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So, SEI on the 8 hour, yes, there's support here, but guys, there's nothing underneath. Do you really want to? Yeah. I mean,
it's tough.
Yeah.
There might be better setups out there. You got to, I think something like this, you got to look at what catalyst here. What's going to push this thing? Sitting here. Otherwise, you're in this tight little range. When it moves with BTC, how big are the moves? You know, I see things like Injective pump, render pumps. Like, does SEI pump when BTC moves? I don't know. You know, I don't track it much. But if you want to be long, this is support now. So if BTC is going to hover around, look for a sneaky wick lower, because guys, you know, there's guys long here, there's stops here. So what do they want to do? They want to come for your stops. Okay, so just look out for that little move. If BTC comes with a sharp push down, this could be a potential long, but there's no support under here that I can see. So I can't give you another level other than to say this is it and manage your stop, but be aware that they might come stop hunt as well. So it's a tricky one for me. I think there's potentially better setups. On Dore says, am I still in a washroom cubicle? Guys, I'm actually in a cycling race, if anyone's noticed. I just breathe really well. I'm so fit. You haven't noticed, but yeah. So yeah, guys, I'm in a small cubicle for at least till next week. Please bear with me. Okay, Tim says CoinGecko calls it 𝗲𝘂𝗀𝘀. Right, guys, throw us some coins here in the chat. Let's see where we can help you guys. Tell us where you're stuck. Somebody's asking for 𝗂𝘁. Guys, drop some comments here. Let us know what you want help with. BLZ we've done. Okay, let's do 𝗂𝘁. Litecoin, that's interesting. We got to do Litecoin. We got to do XRP.
Okay, I'll take Litecoin LTC.
So we did a couple of Dino coins. Okay, so 𝗂𝘁, guys, it's actually in a nice little flag here. This is a symmetrical triangle, so it can sort of break either direction. Let's look at a cleaner chart. Okay, so this is what we were looking at yesterday on 𝗂𝘁. In a very tight little, something's going to happen here. It's teeing up for something. I mean, we saw this trend break and retest. Look at that. Yesterday we looked at this with 786. Look at this move up here. I mean, that was pretty big. Okay, so let's look at this. Something's happening here with 𝗂𝘁. They're teeing it up for something. Which way though, we don't know. We can't say. So track these little trends here. Let's see how that goes. Okay, if we lose that, if we lose this rising trend, well, you know, look out for that little fake out to the downside. So, you know, maybe they want to try that first and then send us up. And the same works the other way. Look out for the fake out both ways. Okay, you'll see this happens if you are new to trading crypto. You'll see they do these things all the time. They give you a fake out and then they send you the other way. So just look out for that. Play it safe. And then a bigger picture on 𝗂𝘁, guys. It is near the top. It is near all-time highs. Let's take a look here. Okay, so all-time highs just around the corner. That was a big one. That was 0.054, that region. So look out for that. So if we do get a pop up here, expect a rejection at this type of area. Okay, and then the key again, guys, is going to be, where is it going to find support? You want to see it get support on that area, and then you know it's potentially on to take it higher. Okay, so look out for that pop, look out for that rejection, and then potential support is a good buy.
I could do Phantom.
Phantom's my last big position that I'm in, actually. Yeah, I'm keen to hear your view on it. Right now, I saw just pushing into some resistance there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do Sol quickly. I didn't cover Sol earlier, did I?
No.
Nope.
I covered Render. They look very similar. Okay, so Sol, it's looking a little bit weaker now. And I'm quite excited about this 22 region. I think we're going to get a bounce here at 22 if it carries on. So eyes on Sol, you can see what's happening here. They started pumping AVAX. I see Matic started moving, and Sol's now down a little bit. So maybe the wind is out of the sails here on Sol. 22 I still like for Sol as the first stop. So let's see if we get a bounce here on Sol. We could get something going there.
Nice. I'm going to settle an alert right now.
Yeah. So there is an alarm on the Banter Discord, guys, for you.
Nice.
You can see there's a 382 fib. There's horizontals. Yeah, doesn't look bad. Let's see what we got in MAs and things. There's a 200-day lower down. Let's see where our 50-day is lower down. Okay, so you can see these areas. They're quite clear where they're nice. 22 and this guy. This is a nice one, 20.2. Okay, so let's see how that plays out. So 20.2 and 22 for Sol. Crypto YT wants ETC. We did ETC once yesterday. I think we do it once a year. I'm happy to do that. Okay, Dave, do you want to give us this Phantom situation?
Yeah, I've been charting it forever. Okay, so
Pulling up your chart. Okay, you're on.
cool. So I drew a fib from the low to the high, and it's crazy to see just the 618 sniper zone reaction. It touched it and got bought right back up. If that was the bottom there, so we can kind of track this new potential trend line. If you guys are long, I saw somebody said they took a long on Phantom. It's doing pretty well compared to some of these other tokens that are bleeding. But what I did here is that I drew a fib from this high to the low here. You guys can see that. And that ties in perfectly with another order block right here. And I drew this this parallel channel a long time ago. And it's funny because when I saw this move to the upside, I almost took a short. Didn't take it because I thought it might have got back into the parallel channel and was gonna do one of these things, but it didn't. So this is a very big resistance area. So if Bitcoin has this pump and has a swing failure pattern to the upside, and Phantom gets right here and stalls out, I think that would be a good short. And maybe it would just be a short scalp based on Phantom being a little bit bullish right now. So maybe seeing something like this, take the short at the 618 and then catch the long on the trend line. So
okay, so potential upside here for Phantom.
I think so, yeah. But it might do this little range bounce, bouncing around here. So, take advantage of that if you can. And stop loss could be super tight here. Once we get to this region here, if you want to take the short at the order block in the sniper zone, again, stop loss right above this wick high here. I think at 0.21 would be safe. And then I wouldn't get too greedy on the trend line. If we hit the trend line here on the short, maybe take half. And then if it can touch these other, you can see these other 3 order blocks down here. If Bitcoin does turn bearish and hits those lower levels, it probably would visit this area here. That's kind of what I'm seeing on Phantom.
Cool.
Voter says, what are the rules for scalping? Voter, one of the main rules for scalping is to actually take profit after a 1% move or a 2% move. You need discipline. Scalping is hard because once it starts moving, you think this time is different. This time I'm holding onto this thing, and what does it do? It comes back.
It does a round trip.
you need a scalping mindset, and you need to say whether this thing runs 5% more or 10% more, I'm cutting at 2% or 3%, and you take it and you run, and you don't worry about it. You don't think about it again. So that's one of the rules for scalping, and it's not for everybody. It's can be brutal. You can get stopped out 4 or 5 times in a day, like trying to scalp something, and you have absolute loser complex. you know, and then you come back the next day and you win a few, and then you think, wow, you're so good at this, you know. So yeah, just be careful out there with scalping.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hard.
It's fun, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Voter wants to know.
It's a really good way to practice your skills about setting things up. So, you know, do a setup, take a trade, get in, get out. You do that over and over again. The actual physical motions of trading, it's a good way to get a lot of exercise there.
Yeah.
I've got Litecoin set up anytime you want, by the way.
Bruce is going to do, okay, so let me just deal with it. 𝗪𝗏𝗪 says something huge is coming for DOT. But
really?
That's it. We need more information here, bro. You can't just drop that and run. Like,
no,
I mean, we hate DOT. We think DOT's going to zero. Now you're changing things. So vote. Please let us know here, 𝗪𝗏𝗪, what the story is with DOT.
What's going on?
Hey,
this is DOT in front of me. I mean, those of you that were watching the lives before we went to YouTube, you saw that DOT that trade that I got, that massive DOT bounce. So we know that DOT can move, and it can move very quickly. So 𝗪𝗏𝗪, we're waiting actively in the chats here. We're waiting for you for this inside edge that you're going to give us. Okay, DOT is currently sitting in a support region. Let me zoom out further so you can just get an understanding as to what's going on. This is a major weekly area, and you can see how it responded off this weekly area last time. Look at the size of this move here. That was pretty huge. Okay, so we know when we see moves like that, we know it's a strong area. It was 7% bounce with that zone. You can see why I like this zone. These are big weekly candles getting bought up here. I know this is a long time ago, but the point is this is a strong area. There were lots of buyers over here. So let's look at this guy again, 3.8, 3.9. There's an alarm here on the Discord. If we go down there, it's probably worth a buy, even just for the range play. If we do lose that area, well, your last two hopes, 3.6 and 3.53, and then it's literally going to zero. 𝗪𝗏𝗪, unless you save the day with some news here for DOT, yeah, I'm calling it here at 3.8 to 3.9 as a nice bounce area. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so you can see what's going on now. It's in its own little mini range here. Let me do that. So if we look at this on this 8-hour time frame, we're just looking at this guy here, support. And if you want, you can play the support bounce and look for this mini range move. There, 50-day MA is resistance. Okay, we've seen, guys, altcoins, they're loving this 50-day MA both ways, reacting well both ways. We've seen GALA reject off it. We see, oh yeah, it's just, you need it on your charts. Get on your charts, 50-day MA, look for that move on DOT. Okay, Bruce, do you want to give us some Litecoin?
Yeah.
And then Fahad, I've got you, bro. We're going to do AGLD for you.
Yep. Litecoin.
Okay, I'm pulling up your chart.
So yeah, I had to go out to the daily to figure out what was going on with Litecoin. Basically, it's been using this as support area since back in December of 2022. And recently basically had a 40% drop, a 45% drop since July. I don't know what's going on fundamentally with the token, but this is really pretty weak. With that said, if you're a fan of Litecoin, I don't see any, given the structure here, I don't see any trading, like leverage trading opportunities right now. It just doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. But if you're a fan of Litecoin, this is a hell of a great place to buy it. It's deep in that zone. Through thick and thin, it seemed to manage to hold that as pretty good area of support. So it's a DCA area that looks great. It's on the 50-day moving average right now. Strong support area. So a spot buy maybe, but doesn't look tradable to me.
Yeah, and they recently had the halving as well. There was a whole lot of news, and we traded that news. I think it topped out at 100. What is it sitting at now? 60.
It's sitting at 63.
Yeah, I think there's bigger movers out there. If you guys are looking for leverage action and trades like that, I think there's bigger movers. Obviously, we can be wrong. I mean, you see XRP randomly pump, out of nowhere. So can Litecoin, so can ETC. But yeah, I generally try and look for other setups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fahad, I'm looking through this AGLD. This looks like a pump and dump all day long, man. Let's pull this up for you, bro. This is hectic. Okay, so Monkey Benny says he just long Sol. Okay, we'll take a look. Let us know what time frame you're trading there, what your targets are. Let us know in the chat, and let's see if there's something good here. Maybe we can all take it. Yes, Alex, it didn't pump randomly, but I like to say it pumped randomly. Yes, there was XRP news, and that's why it was up today. Support on XRP, guys, was the 200-week MA and the 200-day. So it should be holding that for now. Okay, Fahad, AGLD, here's a clean chart. 50-day MA, support. 200-day MA, support. Let's look a little bit closer. I mean, this was a big up and down, wasn't it? Jeez. Okay, so here's our major horizontal area to watch. Look how that listened to the 200-day there for so long. Look at this guy. Look at that. Support, 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 support. Okay, so 200-day drifting up for support. Fahad, if you want to be long on something like this, I mean, you really got to zoom in now. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we got a trend break here or something along these lines for you. Okay, there's a little trend break there. Fahad, tell us in the chats, why are you so obsessed with AGLD? I see you ask about this one all the time. Okay, so there's a potential play here, guys. I mean, this is a rough look at this thing on the 1 hour. Potential stops can be under 0.58, that sort of region. Let's look for targets. But this is like voter. This is what we're talking about, bro. This is scalping time here. So voter, wondering, what are the rules of scalping? Don't be scared to be stopped out. Don't have your stops too tight, in my opinion, because you often can just get wicked out and then they send it higher. Be patient, and you need to understand that you're going to lose some of these. You might lose a few in a row. This is a target for you. Okay, 0.624 is a target. If you believe this thing's going to move, it's a short little move. Let's see where we are. 5%. Okay. Let's look at this risk reward here. Okay, so if you go long here, let's see. Fahad, let us know in the chats. Are you long this thing? What are you planning on doing here, Fahad? Okay, that's a risk reward of 2.6. Not ideal. Okay, your first stop.
Fahad said he likes scalping it.
Okay. Okay, well, let us know in the chats, Fahad. Are you taking this long? What are you doing? Let us know. The setup's just for you. I'm looking at it for you, so let us know what you think. Okay, and then stops, guys. You want to look for stops under candles. Look, you can really dial in if you really want to dial into the 15 minutes and things like that. Here you can look under this area there. Still 0.584. 0.581, still the best sort of area to look for stops. But yeah, scalper type setup here if you want. And then again, BTC's got to play ball here. If BTC reverses, guys, these scalps get stopped. So you need to have discipline with this. Okay, give us something interesting. Destiny Day, STMX. Okay, that's interesting. So STMX, guys, I put on the Discord an STMX short the other day. Here we go. Okay, so STMX was interesting. Again, I don't know what was driving this story, but we highlighted this on the Discord for you. It had a break of trend. It retested this bear zone over here. Okay, so as you can see, guys, I mean, I talk about these all the time, but we lose these trends. You look for the push up. You look for a push up into a horizontal and a fib region, where you're going to get that rejection. The same way when we look for longs, where we get those pullbacks, we look for the same areas, just the other way around. So this is the STMX 4 hour. We lost trend here, pushed up into this bear area, rejected, coming down. The target was the 50-day MA, 0.00572. So yeah, that target is still on. If this moves up, I think it's still going to be shortable. Let's clean this up. So what I want to do now is I want to look for resistance areas on the way back up. Okay, so here's the 382 over there. Let's actually pull it from this move here. Okay, so these are your resistance zones. So you could get a rejection there. And then obviously the 618 does play a role as well. So look for something potentially there at the 618. So if this trend is going to continue down, you want to see something like that, right? Okay. That sort of situation. And then that target is still in play, the 50-day MA. But the best entry, guys, was up here. Probably when we were feeling super bullish, when it was pushing up. Those are normally the best entries. And the same with longs, guys. When things are super bearish, those are generally your best entries. Bruce and Dave, if you see anything in the chats, let me know what you want to grab.
Sure.
Got Doge. People keep asking about that one.
Give us some Doge, guys. The charts on the screen.
Cool. Was it mine or?
That's your chart on the screen, I believe.
Oh, okay. I got the wrong one.
You want me to show it? Right. Okay, you got it.
There it goes. There it goes. Yeah. So there's a long-term idea I have here, and there's also the short-term. We have this new potential trend line that I'm seeing on the 4-hour. So if you guys are wanting to enter along right now, and Bitcoin has its pump, this is where I would set my stop loss. If you are using higher leverage, the target would be around this moving average, basically from this high here to the low is where I'm drawing the fib. So this is kind of that 618 region, ties in with a moving average. We have an order block up here, pretty high. So I think in this region here would be kind of the take profit area. Long term. So I was just looking at this. I really don't trade Doge, but if you guys are super bullish on this, this is kind of where I think if you want to make a swing long position and hold it long term, you can see there's ridiculous upside, especially with this massive green candle that happened back last year. But if you take a look at where we're at now to the lows right here, it's 18%. So what are the chances of it going below that? Not very high. But if you wanted to build a swing long position on Doge, you could enter now, go 5x leverage or 4x leverage, and have another limit order right here. Okay, kind of like that buffering strategy I talked about. Because if you did, that means your liquidation would be right here at 0.036 cents. I don't think Doge is going to go that low. I think Rand just opened up a long on Doge. He's feeling bullish on Doge. But yeah, he said it on the show yesterday. Okay. But I don't think it's ever going to go this low, right? So if you wanted to build a swing long and have another order there to protect yourself and hold it, you know, like I said, swing long, 5x leverage, your upside potential is massive, right? 20%, 30%, and you just hold it, right? Hold it. If Bitcoin has this attempt to 31,000, which I am expecting at some point, Doge is going to go along with it. And like I said, in the short term, at least, I think we're going to hit this order block and break a trend. It'll have some kind of break a trend, I'm sure. But that's just what I'm seeing. That's my 2 cents. Dylan, I'm sure you've got your chart and some ideas behind it.
It makes perfect sense. I see we got comments taking along on comp. Bristol taking along on comp. Yeah, it's just pinged the 618, guys. So let's just quickly update BTC here.
And I got SHIB whenever you're ready to.
Thanks, Bruce. Okay, so Bruce is going to come with SHIB. Guys, 618 here for comp. You can see it's just pinged. Let's just take a look at BTC, see what's going on. This is BTC 15 minutes that I'm watching. I'm watching the dominance down here at this lower screen. I'm watching BTC on the 15 minutes on Binance. It looks like it's turning up here for now. Let's just zoom in. If BTC does move higher, I'm looking at this 200-day MA and the 618 region up here, around about 28. That would be a nice target. So what you'd want to see if this move continues, you want to see it break up, you want to see it find support over there, and we just take this trend up. Okay, so we're going to look for a trend on BTC, and then we're going to look for potential rejections. If BTC starts losing this area, guys, you know we're looking at the 618 lower down. So that's just an update there. So if BTC carries on now, these alts on these supports, again, like we saw yesterday, they should be good. There's Solana. Somebody was saying they're longing Sol here. That's more of a scalp. Obviously, my main area for Sol, guys, was this 22. So I'm going to be patient on that one. But let's see how Sol goes. 22 is still my main area. Okay. Bruce, do you want to give us your chart there?
Yeah.
Okay.
This surprised me. I was not expecting to see such a clean range play on Shiba.
Nice.
I love these. These are great. I mean, look at this. One long, one short, one long, one short, one long, one short, one long, one short, one long.
Okay, so let's go long. What's the stop?
Range plays are so fun.
Let's do it.
Sell the top, buy the bottom. Order block at the top and bottom that confirms this. You can see on the Lex Algo. You can do these all day long until it doesn't work anymore. One of these days,
right now.
Yeah.
What's the stop?
Yeah.
What's the stop on this?
Let's take a look. The only thing to be careful of with this one is right before each of the moves, there's a huge liquidity spike. Right? It just did it. Right? You'll notice it did it there. It did it there. It didn't do much one there, but right now I would do. Let me get rid of that little thing. I would ignore the spike because you'll be way out of range. But you could be just below that order block there. You'd be at about 1.1%.
That's not bad.
What's the number there? Is it 0.7175?
So I get 714, but yeah, that'd be perfectly fine. Totally sweet.
714. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, that's good.
That was a surprise.
Okay, look, if it plays out, how big is that range, Bruce?
4%.
Okay, so if it plays out, we'll play the range.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Let's see what else we got going on here.
I'm gonna do that one just for fun.
Okay, guys, all position, scalping, play it safe, don't be reckless. But you can see how these things make sense. There's a range. You can see how it plays out. There's an order block. There's a range. BTC's happy. Should just make its way higher. BTC's unhappy. Well, you're going to get stopped there. So it's as simple as that. Okay, GRT long crypto juggle. Let's pull up, guys. We're going to do a handful more. And Nav keeps asking for Optimism. I did do Optimism earlier, Nav, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Let's do Optimism.
She was late to the party.
Late to the party, guys. We do have timestamps now, so you can just go back and check the timestamps.
Yeah, I have.
So my view on Optimism is still any push-ups, we're actually going to look for short opportunities unless BTC gets some massive catalyst now and starts going mad. Optimism rejection areas I'm looking for 382, and I'm looking at this rejection zone here, 50-day MA and 618.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah. So the reason I like that, again, is if BTC pushes up, look what we got again. I'm always looking for where these alts are going to tie in with BTC, guys, and these pumps. Okay, so you want to just try and align them accordingly. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on Optimism at the moment. So yes, there is a potential short-term stuff. If you zoom in, there's probably short-term moves coming. But I would say we are going to look for rejections unless now, the situation changes, and then we're going to pull a trend and we're going to track the trend down. It's going to be as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying, 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃 was DLZ breaking out on the 15th.
Yeah, it's still in danger land to me, in the middle of nowhere.
Let's update BTC. Still sitting here on support. We want to track in situations like this as well. We want to watch this dominant. I want to see this dominance come down a little bit. This pump here yesterday, this is what REC does completely, that one. We don't really want that again. Okay, XRP, guys, I'm not sure if I actually covered this. We've been doing this for an hour. I can't remember how many charts I did.
I don't think we did XRP.
No, we did
so
not. We did not.
Yeah.
XRP pumped on the back of some news. XRP is just irritating. I hate XRP, but you know what? Pumps on news. Rejection zone right here. 200-week MA support. 200-day MA support. So watch that, guys. If things turn bullish now, there's a bit of good news on XRP. Who knows? Maybe the XRP army is going to want to send this thing higher. Okay, so that's what you're going to look for. So right here, this is a support zone. Then if we do break higher, you want that support first before you long into resistance. Don't long into resistance. So if it's high, if it's pushing up and you've missed your entry, don't jump into resistance. Just let it pop. Get the support first. Okay, otherwise when these things reverse, it hurts, guys. Okay, Nick, let's do GRT. Then, guys, I'm going to give you my gold update. We're going to look at the S&P. We haven't even looked at that yet today. We're going to look at the 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝘁. Then we're going to give you a summary, and then I'll tell you which coins we watch, and then we are going to cut it. Okay, GRT. I mean, this is just dreamy, isn't it? The way this GRT responds. Guys, these levels are in the Banter Discord. Okay, these charts are sitting in the Banter Discord. Look at this thing. This was big horizontal area for us all day long. In that dump yesterday, what happened? Big horizontal pump. What did it do? Rejected resistance, 382. So this is now a bearish setup brewing here on GRT. So let's clear these arrows out of the way here. Invert this. Okay, look at this. So if we were looking for longs, what would I be telling you? I'd be telling you, look for the breakout, look for the rejection at horizontal, which is what we always do. Then let it come back, and then we buy that retest to send it higher. And that's a typical long setup. When you got a breakout, you look for that rejection first at a horizontal or a fib, then it comes back and you buy it. Okay, so this is why if it was set up like this GRT, we'd be saying, geez guys, we're looking for longs here, 0.88. Okay, so don't fall under any illusions that it's going to be different this time. Of course it could be different this time, but you know, if this thing pumps up, what are we expecting? We're looking for a rejection in this area, and it's potential bear country, so 0.088 is a region to look for. Then you can also pick out some other resistance zones that are notable, and you can look for wicks into these areas. So you know, often they come with a little fake out to try and just stop you out, so you can look for little sharp moves into these zones. Okay, but ultimately it is setting up to be more bearish at the moment now because we've lost these trends. Okay, what am I missing? Was I supposed to do one more, or was that a GRT? Okay guys, update on gold. Okay, so we're going to look at the 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝘁 now too. This is what we were saying on gold. We wanted some kind of double bottom. It seems to be doing all right at the moment. So, you know, we've been watching this gold long for days. Look at that RSI, guys. It's completely oversold. It's just been obliterated here. 200-week MA coming up as support. Okay, horizontal support. So I would expect gold, the odds are of gold moving up a little bit first before there's any more downside. Okay, let's take a look at the 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝘁. See what's going on here. 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝘁, look at that. Look at that. This is exactly what we were saying. Okay, I love this stuff. So we had this bearish divergence on the 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝘁. We were looking at a major resistance zone. We were looking for that rejection. We could see the oscillator was turning down. The price was going up. And now it's giving us a slight rejection. So that's going to be quite good for the markets. What we want to see is the 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝘁 come lower. Again, we can't be 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗁 bears now because this is still an uptrend. So it's perfectly normal for it to come back here and then actually go higher. So if it's moving down, let's enjoy what it gives us on this move down. Okay, if it loses this area and retest, then we can really have some fun. But for now, let's just try and take baby steps. Look at the 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗁𝗁 down to 105. 105.7, that sort of region. If we get that move, that should just unleash some Bitcoin, some alts, some of the stock market, that sort of stuff, guys. Okay, so let's look at SPX. Okay, we are almost in our area. Is it green today? Yeah, it's +3, +0.3 today. Okay, so we're not done yet. but we are so close, guys. We're on trend. How long have we been waiting for this one? This has been, sometimes you just think it's never going to get there, but here it comes. I mean, we were talking about this up here at the top when I was trying to short this thing back there. Okay,
Wow.
so S&P is nearly at this 4,180, 4,200 zone. And you can see, guys, I like this 200-day MA coming through strong here. We got the trend. We got the 382. So it's quite a hot zone for me. We've got the RSI. RSI completely oversold on the daily. We know this thing responds to oversold and overbought RSIs. So, you know, odds are again stacking up saying Dixie coming down, gold going up, S&P potentially going up. So that's what we're looking at for that. Okay, guys, final update on BTC before we leave you to the wolves. Hey, we don't know what they're gonna do, when we're not watching. So guys, again, the plan BTC, we can see our support here at the moment, 27,300. That's that wick from earlier today. So that's eyes on that one first. Then we do have these lows here, 27,161 that David was talking about yesterday. Okay, and then guys, Big Daddy down here, 26,900 to 27,618. It can happen. Okay, else could get obliterated. When BTC is dropping, keep your eyes on the dominance. When this is happening, you want to see where these alts are teeing up on their corresponding levels, guys. Okay, and then upside for BTC, well, expect a rejection here, 26,600. Expect something to happen there. If the move continues, look for support. Okay, old resistance, look for support at 27,600, and then let's see how we go if we get to that 28. It could all happen quite quickly in a couple of hours. Okay, Bruce and Dave, closing arguments. What do you have to say?
Bruce, I think you're muted there, buddy. Okay. Yeah,
Bruce,
well,
come back to life.
Couldn't hear Bruce.
Okay, it says Bruce muted
hold on.
itself.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I was just
Closing arguments here.
just you know, it's volatile. Be careful. Make sure your stops are in place. Don't be surprised if you get stopped out while trying to get an entrance, because all that means is you're setting yourself up for the opportunity to even get it at a better price.
Okay.
Awesome.
Dave.
Yeah, my 2 cents are, when, you know, we've given you guys a lot of levels, we've given you guys a lot of alerts. When these alerts go off, look at your charts and just wait for the reaction. Don't just be so gung-ho about taking that position. Wait for the stall, wait for the reaction, then take the trade. And I'll be posting anything that I'm seeing on the Discord. So
Ditto. The other thing I wanted to throw in here is don't take the trades because we say so, because it's what we're doing. When you look at the charts, mark them up yourself. If you don't understand it, I recommend not taking the trade. If you understand it, looks right to you, or you see it a little differently, learn to trust yourself. Learn to develop that confidence.
The purpose of this session is also not to hold you by the hand and tell you what to do. We want you to learn from us. You know, we do our charting. We look at our areas. We want you to learn. We want you to be a better trader. We don't want to just spoon feed you information. So that's a key point, Bruce. Thank you for that. Okay,
that's good.
Guys, tomorrow, same thing. There's no Sheldon show, but we'll be live tomorrow again, same time. See you later.
Peace, everyone.